What a beautiful morning on the Bedrock Guide server. Today we are running across our bridge headed over to the next project that we've got to work on. If you missed the last episode, be sure to check it out after this one. We worked on a massive lava farm and you're not going to want to miss out on that. But we're shifting gears today. We are back over here at the pirate village on the hilltop across from our pirate cove, and we're taking it back down to a small micro farm style level. I've got some pretty ambitious plans for the ocean floor over here. I want to light it up. And I want to put some custom coral reefs down here. We're going to be shifting focus here soon because the inside of our pirate cave is basically done. We've got our super smelter room and the iron farm room left to do, but those won't take very long, honestly. And the exterior of the volcano and this mountainside over here, it's going to take a little bit of time, but we can knock it out probably over the course of a few streams. This project is almost done, so we're kind of shifting focus to the pirate hilltop and the ocean floor. So, in order to make the ocean floor light up like we want it to, we've got this little area right here. Now, this is our chicken farm that we built a little while ago now, and I thought, you know, we could name like a restaurant Chicks Ahoy or something, Chickens Ahoy, and we could also have pirate pickles. So that's what we're working on today. We are going to make a sea pickle micro farm so that we can get enough sea pickles to light up our ocean floor. And honestly, we probably won't use it for much else other than that, but that's why you build micro farms. They're quick, they're easy, simple to understand, and you get as many resources as you need, and then you just don't use it again until the next time. Maybe. We'll see. So let's get rolling on this farm. The first thing that we want to do is we want to go over here and line up with the center of this right here. And I believe that is the center block. This is going to be the pressure plate on which we stand that will activate the farm. Then we want to come down 2 blocks below that, and we'll dig that one back out. And then we'll put 1 block right here, right against the back wall, and that will be our cascading torch tower downward to activate the farm. If you remember back to our lesson last time about our lava farm, you do know that a redstone signal can carry downward to a piece of redstone dust on a block below. That's exactly what we're going to do over at the sea pickle farm, except for instead of using a lever, we're going to use a pressure plate. So I've got a pressure plate right here. We're going to place it right on top of that block, and then directly below it, we'll go ahead and slap down a piece of redstone. Then, when we stand on top of this, you can see from the bird's eye view that the redstone signal is indeed lighting up. The redstone dust is bright as can be. Then what we can do is we can put a torch off to the side of this block, and then if you jump on top of the pressure plate again, the redstone torch goes off whenever that redstone dust is lit. So we're basically inverting the signal of that redstone torch, and then we'll go ahead and put another piece of redstone dust here, and then we will invert the signal of that redstone torch as well. I really like to keep my redstone signals neat and on the same block just so it's easy to find later if we need to maintenance it. So we'll go ahead and place a few blocks down right here, and then we can take a repeater and place it right here so that when this torch comes on, it will power that repeater, which will in turn power this comparator. And then we're going to go ahead and place this into subtract mode. And then we've got this little L shape that we've just put in right here, which is going to be for our comparator clock. When this is in subtract mode, the signal that comes straight out of this right here will be 15 once this repeater is lit up. So a full signal strength of 15, then it goes to 14, and then it goes to 13, and then back into here. Because the signal coming into the side of the comparator is less than the signal coming into the back, it will temporarily power this comparator off, which will then deactivate the signal. And then because there's no signal coming into the side, the back repeater will repower this. And basically what that does, if we place a redstone torch to simulate the full signal strength, it creates an infinite loop of ticking on and off, which is exactly what we want for this farm. Then we can come out of the side of this signal right here and come back a couple of blocks. We'll place 1 redstone dust here, and then we're going to use a little trick with glass. Because glass is transparent, it can actually stack a redstone signal like this. It can go catty-cornered through the side. If these were solid blocks, this would not work. So we throw a redstone dust there, and it goes up, and then we throw a redstone dust here, and it goes up again. And then we want to repeat the same thing over on the opposite side over here, except for we're going to go out one farther. We could go right here, but it will just feed this side of the signal back into the comparator. It's not really going to hurt anything, but just to avoid any kind of confusion, we're going to go ahead and avoid routing the redstone signal back in there. And so we can go here, 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 and then place our glass down, just like we did there. Glass down, then redstone and redstone. Now, I had all sorts of fun and trouble with this in the creative testing world while I was making this, because water is kind of a pain when it comes to redstone. If you forget to plug a hole, it's gonna just completely destroy your entire circuit. So be careful of that. We're getting ready to start working with the water. Don't say I didn't warn you. Next, we're gonna go ahead and place a block right here. And then right on the other side of this block, we're gonna place one piece of soul sand. This can literally be any block that you want. I'm picking soul sand because it's what I had on hand. This will eventually be your coral, but we don't want to put that down just yet because it will die if it's not in water. Then we'll go ahead and put a piece of glass under here like that. And again, we're going to go ahead and fill this area in with glass or some sort of block to block off the water. I think I called this soul sand a minute ago. This is actually soul soil, but we're going to go ahead and place one more right here and one more right there. We'll go ahead and place a temporary block right here. We'll grab a bite to eat, and then we'll get some shut-eye. Food and sleep, two very, very, very important things. And then we'll look this way, and we'll toss a dispenser down right there. Make sure that's a dispenser and not a dropper. And that is what's going to hold our bone meal and grow the sea pickles. Then we want to grab a temporary block, place it down right here on the side that the dispenser is on, and we'll go ahead and grab a piston and butt it right up against that soul sand, soon to be coral. But then on the opposite side, we need to go ahead and leave a 1 block gap between this soul sand and the piston. So we'll do the same thing with some temporary blocks and place that piston down right there. And then I've got this block of redstone here, and we're gonna place it down right next to this guy, catty-cornered like that. And that's not powering anything just yet, but that will be powering some rails that are gonna go underneath here. Then we can take another piece of glass right here, and another piece of glass right over there, and we'll grab a couple more repeaters. We'll place one down right here, we'll place one down right there, and then a block under that, and a block under that. If we jump up on top of this pressure plate, it is going to activate that clock below, like we already discussed, and then it will run the redstone line all the way up to these blocks right here, which will power these pistons, and they will alternate back and forth which direction the coral is going to go. So check it out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Test run. Perfect. The reason why we have this shifting back and forth like this is because the sea pickles will quickly grow on top of these, and then the shift of the block will actually break the sea pickles and allow them to be collected. So they will move out of the way quick enough for more sea pickles to grow on there and to keep breaking and collecting and breaking and collecting. But how do we get this dispenser to fire the bone meal, you say, to get those sea pickles to grow like they should? Well, that's actually super simple. We're going to go ahead and break this block, and I'm completely out of spruce, so we do need to go grab some more of that really quick. I had the wrong spot. Well, I guess we can put this glass back there for now, just so we don't cross any wires, but we do need a solid block right next to the dispenser, and what we can do is take a redstone torch and throw it into the side of this piston, so whenever we stand on this pressure plate and the signal starts ticking through with our comparator clock, it will flicker these things on and off, on and off, on and off, which will power this piston forward and back. And the piston actually carries a signal through to this torch as well, which will tick that on and off, on and off, on and off, which will power, depower, power, depower, which will turn on, turn on, turn off. That's a lot. But basically what you need to know is that this will be constantly firing bone meal every time our pistons are going back and forth. So here we go. Check it out. You should hear some clicking noises really soon, not to be confused with the clicking over at the chicken farm. But here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's test it again. And there you go. We got the constant ticking. We got the constant clicking. We should have plenty of sea pickles here very, very soon. Now what we got to do is make sure we block this thing off so that we can still see what's happening on the inside. Because it is a cool little farm. We don't want to just completely close it off to where we can't see it anymore. But we do want to make sure that all of the water is contained whenever we put it in, so that it doesn't destroy what we just did. And before we go any further to fill this in with water, I want to work on the collection system for just a minute, because that is going to be very important as well. We want to leave a 1-block gap below where the coral's going to be and run a line right here. This is where this redstone block comes into play. I'm going to take 3 powered rails, and I'm going to run one right here, one right here, and one right here. Then eventually we'll put this minecart with hopper, and it will bounce back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and collect all of these sea pickles that drop. We'll break that for now because of what we're going to do next. Okay, so I have ripped out the temporary coral, and I've gone ahead and filled in some walls here. I'm actually going to break what I've done here for the moment, and this is where I kind of need to decide where things are going to route. If we go this direction with it, I think that would be just fine, as long as we avoid some of these redstone lines over here. We don't want to get our hoppers all locked up. So we'll go 2 blocks below the pistons, and we'll run 3 hoppers for now. 1, 2, and 3. And we'll find our way back on top of these hoppers right here. And I've got some rails. Those are not rails. Those are rails. So we've got some rails here. We're going to place one down right here, here, and right here. And because rails are a little bit of a pain, they can be a little bit tricky. We'll go ahead and do this one right here as well. We'll place a hopper into the side of this one with 1 redstone rail right there, and that's perfect. In my testing world, these actually combined, and it kind of messed everything up, but that's good to know that that worked. And now that I've boxed everything in again, I got to show you a really cool trick, all right? So we don't want to do this on the hoppers, because we might accidentally waterlog the hoppers and, again, damage everything down below, but you can waterlog rails. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to take water right here on this solid block, and we're going to drop 1 water source. Now it's going to break these rails, and that's okay for now, but I do want to show you that you can actually waterlog rails. Redstone and water can mix in the right circumstances, or I should say some redstone. Don't try this with redstone dust, it won't work. So then if we waterlog right here, we will create an infinite water source, and then we can grab another one, and we can grab a water bucket and place it right there. So now we don't have any flowing water through here, which is good, which means we can go ahead and connect up our rails again, and we're good to go. If you were to just drop a water source up here at the top before waterlogging these, it would actually just break the rails, and it doesn't actually work. So you gotta have water sources here. And then we'll just go ahead and do the same thing up here. Water source, and we broke our rail again. Oh, no! Oh, where did I miss? Oh, I waterlogged the piston. Yep. You sure can. You can waterlog pistons. So exactly what I told you not to do, we just did. So there's that. Crisis averted. Let's go. Let's place our coral down right here, parallel with that block, so it is below water. We should not have any dying coral. Fantastic. It stayed blue. And then we'll go ahead and do one right here and one right here. Then the last thing we want to do before this thing is ready to run, we need to cover it up, because we don't want any of our sea pickles bouncing out of the chamber. We want it all to stay inside of that chamber so that the hopper minecarts can pick them up after the fact. Which reminds me, we need to get some hopper minecarts in there without destroying our redstone again. Hold up. All right, so there's 1 and there's 2. So that one should be bouncing back and forth because those rails are powered. And this one right here should be stationary. It should not go anywhere. And let's make sure that stays the case when we step on our pressure plate. Is it still there? It's still there. Fantastic. The reason why we put a hopper minecart here as well is because sometimes the sea pickles, once they've broken off of these shifting blocks, will fall back this direction on top of the seed block, and we don't want them just sitting there to despawn. So the hopper minecart will pick them up through the block, and it will drop them into the hopper line below and carry them on to the rest of the storage with all the other sea pickles as well. All right, so let's cover this back up, except for right here on the dispenser. We can go ahead and grab a hopper right here, and then we'll snag a couple chests, place them down like that, so we got a easy access for bone meal. I've been trying to AFK a little bit at the fish farm, and this is all we have at the moment. We don't have a lot. It may look like a lot, but trust me, it's not a lot. If we convert all of those bones into bone meal, we don't even have a full double chest. That's not a lot. We're gonna burn through that very quickly, but we do want to make sure to let this dispenser fill up a little bit before we start running the farm, because the bone meal will actually dispense quicker than this can refill, so we will run out and our efficiency for the farm will go down a little bit, so just keep that in mind. Last but not least, the thing that we need the most, we don't have. Or at least I need to go look through my chest to see if we don't have. Hey, there's some! Perfect! We got 15. And we'll take this sea pickle and drop it right here underneath the water on top of this, the coral. Hello? Hello? Oh, there we go. I just had to get a little closer, I guess. And now this should be fully operational. But I don't want to run it just yet because I still have these hoppers down here to worry about. And for the time being, they're not really going to go anywhere except for a double chest over on the other side of the chicken farm, because I do have plans for some storage for both of these as well. And then we'll run a hopper line back to meet where the sea pickle farm drops all of the items. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to go ahead and give this a test run. Let's go. Oh, it's amazing. I absolutely love it. So many sea pickles. This will put out about 5.5 stacks, if I recall, in 1 minute. So let's make sure we go over here and check the storage that we are indeed getting sea pickles. Let's collect our glass that we accidentally broke. But here you go. We probably didn't run that more than a minute. We're raking it in. Then the great thing about this is we can go down underneath the water. We're not going to do this today, but just as a quick demonstration, if we start placing sea pickles down here in groups of 4, or maybe some in groups of 3, or maybe even some in groups of 2 or 1, we can get different levels of lighting on the ocean floor. 4 being the brightest, 3 being a little bit more dim, 2 being even more dim, and 1 being super dim. We can make this ocean floor look really, really cool with varying light sources and brightnesses. Hey! That's actually a lot cooler than I thought it would be. Oh, that's gonna be so cool. Just imagine this entire place lit up with those sea pickles with a custom coral reef built under here. Yeah, it's gonna be good. just like that, we've got a brand new building sitting on our pirate hilltop village. The first building, actually, and it's going over the chicken farm and sea pickle farm. Let's check it out really quick. If we head inside, it's not much to look at. I don't know how much more we're going to do to this aside from this. We'll have to do some adjusting here once we figure out where these hopper lines are going to go for the sea pickle farm and for the chicken farm and the unloader here. I haven't figured that out yet, but it's not going to go in this building. They're going to go in separate directions, different places, things like that. More time-lapsey style builds like this in the future, by the way. Hope you enjoyed that. The other thing that we're going to have to do at some point is potentially put a small box around this AFK position, because I don't really want to just leave myself exposed to, you know, zombies busting down the door and attacking us while we're grabbing sea pickles. Not that we would just stand here for hours at a time anyway, but if I'm here for like 15 minutes and I walk away from a computer, I don't want to lose all my stuff. Happens way too often anyway. But mainly this building was to make a nice exterior, not worrying about the interior, and I think we accomplished that. Aside from right here, there's a couple of spots that we could use a few more trapdoors. Do I have any on me? I don't think I do. Let me check the box really quick. We got one. Hold on. We've come this far. We can't leave this thing unfinished. Hold on. Hold on. I know I just crafted 34. Don't judge me. And let's see. Where we miss? We missed right here. So trapdoor, trapdoor, trapdoor. Ah, nope, not there. And trapdoor. Good. Close it out. A couple other things to mention as well. We do need to figure out this right here. We kind of started a little bit of a sand area like we've got out front. And I don't like that it's just one wide and being held up by wood, but that was temporary just to get the sand there. We do need to figure out this cliffside, and we need to figure out this cliffside as well, because garbage. The building itself looks great, but the terraforming, it's going to have to be adjusted here soon. I also like how we've replaced a lot of the grass over here with some of this sand, and more of this is going to be turned into that as well as time goes on, with a few fringes of messy grass and things like that along the edges. But we got our work cut out for us with this village. Plenty more coming your way. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video today. If you enjoyed it, be sure to check out the Bedrock Guide playlist for more content just like this, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything coming in the future.